Hello, my name is Arethia Brooks and welcome to my channel here at Essentials to a Journey, where we discuss all things self-care and mindset, specifically growth, transformation, evolution, and expansion. But before we get into today's topic, I'd like to introduce myself. For those of you who do not know who I am an author, writer, blogger, entrepreneur, and certified health coach. And if it is your first time on my channel, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. So let's get into today's topic. In today's topic, we are discussing essentials to a self-care journey. And let's start by saying, or I should start by saying that there are so many ways to look at self-care, but what I'd like to do is break it down for you in a way where you're able to really own self-care for yourself and take this topic and be able to transform it in a way that serves you. So the first way that we can begin to, or the first, let's say, way of looking at self-care is by understanding what self-care means to you. So for a lot of people, I know myself, self-care for me, it involves all things, my mental, my physical, every area when I think of self-care, every dimension when I think of self-care. And so we can begin to look at self-care by understanding what it means for us personally. So for you, maybe it might be, for example, going for a walk in the park, or just going for a stroll in general. Maybe you want to take 10 minutes out every day or 30 minutes and just take yourself for a stroll. And this could be a way of clearing your mind, clearing your mental state, and connecting to your breath, connecting to your body. This is a great way to look at self-care. For others, self-care, understanding self-care and what it means to you could be as simple as taking time out to understand your morning routine. Maybe you want to place more emphasis on your skincare. So this could involve figuring out the right pH soaps that works best for your skincare. Also understanding what products as far as toothpaste or mouthwash, anything like that may serve your dental hygiene. For some of you, it might be as simple as taking a vitamin that will help support your eye health. So just really tapping into your own intuition and coming to understand what self-care means to you it could be also as simple as writing, taking a moment every day to write into your journal to understand what you are feeling and what is going on with you internally. This is another great way to do some self-caring, or spending 10 minutes, 20 minutes in meditation and quieting your mind and allowing the thoughts to surface so that you can have a better understanding of how you're feeling and what you're going through. These are all great ways to do self-care. It just really determines how you're feeling about yourself in any given moment, in any given day. Maybe you want to take a moment out every once a week. And I would suggest, honestly, doing self-care every day, because self-care is something that, you take care of yourself and then you fill up your own cup and then you can help serve others. So maybe you want to take out a day a week or to get clear about how you want to present yourself for the upcoming week. So maybe taking a couple of hours on a Sunday to write down what you would need for the upcoming week in order to be able to get what you need in order to be able to serve other people. So understanding what self-care means to you is a great essential to a self-care journey. Another great essential to a self-care journey would be trial and error. Maybe this sounds a little bit weird or not understood, but I'll explain it. So trial and error is basically trying all of these things and then determining which ones or which of these concepts that are working for you and what isn't, and not being afraid to say, hey, you know what, this week sitting quietly to quiet my mind was not the thing. That's not what I needed. Maybe I need to tune in better to myself through writing, or maybe I need to go for a walk, or maybe I just need to be around some people I love. So it's about not being afraid to do a bit of trial and error in your life, wherever it's called for, determining or even sitting down and saying, hey, I tried this week. Let me make a list of things that I've been trying and that has not worked necessarily for me. Let me revamp this list and write in another column that might be some things that I would want to try that would actually work best for me. And not being afraid to continue to revamp that list or revise it, and tuning into it and constantly going over and over it to just see if it serves you. So self-care is about picking things up and putting things down when they don't work. And I hope, this will be a little bit of medicine for you on your journey to self-care. So another essential, aside from learning about trial and error, what does and doesn't work, another essential that you can use and take with you on your journey to self-care is your emotions and your feelings. And this is so important because without understanding how you're feeling in any given time, it can be difficult to either receive what it is that we need from the world, from other people, or it could be difficult determining what we need within ourselves to better serve others. So understanding your emotions and your feelings, and this is basically, you don't necessarily have to be where you want to be emotionally. That's not required. I find myself off. I'm not always emotionally feeling the way I want to, but I do step into a place of saying to myself, okay, I don't want to feel like this. This isn't it for me. Let me figure out how I can get to where I want to be. And this is tuning into how you're feeling and saying, okay, let me calibrate. Let me move up the emotional scale. Let me go from being just not super enthused about anything to feeling a bit more satisfied. We can move up the emotional scale to satisfaction, to maybe feeling just neutral about everything, to finding something that helps you to feel satisfied. So what I'm saying here is that no matter where you are in your journey, especially when it comes to your feelings, you can find a better feeling thought, and figuring out how that feels within your body. Are you feeling tight in your gut? Are you feeling heavy in your chest, or are you feeling more light in your chest? So determining your emotions, where you might necessarily be feeling it within the body, bringing that emotion and feeling coherence, bringing everything into balance and into alignment so that they work for each other. So just understanding where you feel or how you're feeling, and figuring out the emotions that you are feeling and how you can move up to a better feeling place will serve you as an essential on your journey towards self-care and improved self-care. The final way that you can, or the final essential on your journey to self-care, would be understanding your ideal version. So the ideal version of you, your ideal vision, your ideal vision of yourself. Vision, it's kind of the same thing. So just determining your ideal vision and what that is for you, especially on your self-care journey, will help you not only get to the place you want to be, but it helps you gain clarity and understand on your journey towards that. So if you have in your mind a vision of how you see yourself and where you want to be a couple years from now, or how you want to be on your journey towards self-care, maybe you want to improve the way you look. Maybe you want to see yourself having a spa day every other month or so, or maybe you envision the ideal vision or for yourself as being someone who shows up on time and who shows up looking like the best version of yourself. So getting in tune with the ideal vision for yourself and then being able to map out a way to make this happen. And that is, I think, coming into alignment with your ideal vision of yourself will help you to determine the steps that you need to take. So it just really first takes understanding what that vision of you is, and then after that will come what it is, what's necessary. Then you can begin to map out what is necessary for you to become this best, highest, ideal vision of you. So I hope this has all served you, these 4 ways or these 4 essentials that you can use to create a ideal, a bio-individual way of self-care, something that is specific to you, that is just for you. So don't be afraid to understand what self-care means to you. Take the time and the opportunity to get to know what self-care means to you, and understanding what will play a role in your life for you to have a better self-care routine. Also, use the essential of trial and error. If something works, great. And if it doesn't, don't be afraid to put that tool down, and pick something else up instead. And another essential, your emotions and your feelings, understanding what these are, understanding where you are feeling and adjacent to where you wish to be. And finally, your ideal vision, understanding the ideal vision that you have for yourself. So we're going to bring this all to a close. And again, I hope that all of these essentials have been super helpful to you and will be super helpful to you on your journey of self-care. And if you're looking for any other video or any other messages or topics or content around the same topic of self-care, don't forget to go ahead and check out the playlist that is added at the end of this video, so that you can go ahead and tap into other forms of self-care and just kind of browse through more ways of self-caring. So I want to thank you for tuning in with me, and for tuning in and taking a moment for yourself to understand your self-care journey and to make better improvements for your self-care. And until next time, I wish you so much peace, light, and much love.